to be a part of that discussion. So, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the Economic and Development Committee meeting, Tuesday, November the 28th. We had a long, energetic council discussion on cannabis this morning, and so that meeting is just adjourned. I'm joined here this afternoon by Councilman Busquiano, and we are expecting Councilmember Weezar to join us. But in the meantime, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Price,
Here.
Councilmember Buscaino,
Here. Okay, we've got 17 items on the agenda this afternoon. Oh, we've been joined by Councilman Jose Weezar in the House. As I was saying, we've got 17 items before us. If there are no objections, members, we're going to take items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17 on consent. Those will all go on consent if there are no objections. I know that there may be some individuals here for item number 12. Mr. Busquiano is going to be having a robust discussion on this topic this evening. But if there are any, we've got some cards here on that item, and I'll certainly give you the courtesy of a comment if you choose to do so. Otherwise, you may want to hold your comments till this evening. Okay, we will dispense with those comments. Mr. Clerk, do we have any comment cards?
no cards, but what you have before you.
Okay, let's take the multiple cards first.
We don't have any.
There are
Any
no
multiple cards? Okay, that's even better. Let's go to item number 8, Mr. Clerk.
Item number 8, continued from September 19, 2017 and October 24, 2017. CLA and City Attorney reports and ordinances relative to amending the Los Angeles Administrative Code sections 10.36 and 10.37 relating to service worker contractor retention and the living wage.
Okay, members, this item was continued from September the 19th, 2017 and October the 24th. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, let's take some comment, public comment.
A couple questions on the fiscal
okay.
impacts.
Let's, would you care to speak now or after the public comment?
We can do
on
comment
the item?
first.
Okay, let's take the comment on this item first. Got it. Okay, it's Annabelle Gonzalez. If you'll come to the table, please. Tim Maddox, Armando Munoz, Melanie Franklin, and Rafael Leon. Please identify yourself. You have 1 minute for your comment, please.
Hi, my name is Annabelle Gonzalez. I'm a cabin cleaner at the International Terminal, Tom Bradley. First of all, I would like to thank you for the work that you've done, and I just want to explain how important it is for the living wage to go up. Us workers are depending on the decision that you guys make, because the decision that you guys make is going to impact all of our families. It's going to impact us, and we're hoping that it's a positive decision. Our work at the airport is very hard. We have a lot of responsibilities, and I really don't think that it's a minimum wage job. We're all dependent on you, and I hope you guys have that in consideration when you make the decision.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Next, please.
Yes, Councilman Price, Weezar, and Buscaino, you weren't here the last time. I just want to thank you for the work that you've done so far as for passing this through to
You want to identify yourself?
Tim Maddox. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I'm Tim Maddox, airport worker, 23 years at LAX. Seen a lot of changes, and I've seen a lot of investment. And we talked about last time, billions of dollars into this, but I want to let you know this living wage ordinance means a lot to us. A lot of us have not sleep, have worked all night, and stayed up here to come to this meeting. Some of us, like myself, have to go straight out from here to work and work past midnight tonight. So I want to let you know it means a lot to us, our families, and our communities. And you know, I really hope that we will pass this through, and it'll mean the world to us. And I think you can sleep comfortable with your conscience, knowing that you have supported your community with this matter. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Good afternoon, Councilman. My name is Rafael Leon, and I work for the airline catering. For a lot of years, a lot of us, we've been treating as if we don't belong in the airport. And we work for the airport. We do food, and we do all kinds of food for the airlines. And what we're asking is for your support. You know, there's a lot of people telling us we don't belong in the airport, but we do. Just think about the changes we can do in our families. You know, we actually thank you for all the work you've done. And to this point, you guys done a lot, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Armando Munoz. I work for a contracting company called G2 Secure Staff. I would like to thank you folks. We really appreciate for your support and your help. I'm here on behalf of my coworkers as well. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure you guys know that living in LA is pretty expensive, and raising the minimum wage ordinance is only going to help us a lot more. Besides that, the reason why it's so important to raise the minimum wage at the airport is because we have a big turnaround, and one of the reasons why we have a big turnaround is because we have these new employees that don't really take this job seriously because the way we're getting paid. I mean, I don't have to remind you guys of what have happened previous year at LAX. And just to let you guys know that the passengers look at us, for safety. So, I mean, help us, raise the minimum wage ordinance. It would just help us make LAX a little bit safer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melinda E. Franklin with United Airlines, and today I'm representing Airlines for America, our industry trade group. As is stated in our letter today, most airports with living wage requirements do not extend those provisions to airlines. These airports include Boston, Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Minneapolis, St. Paul, SeaTac, and Washington, D.C. These airports have recognized our higher wages, generally starting at $14 per hour and exceeding $30 per hour. We are requesting that this committee limit the scope of the ordinance to service contractor employees to be consistent with the legislative findings, which only references wages paid by service contractors. Most notably in this regard, on page 1 of the draft ordinance, the intent is described as, and I quote, "Through this article, the city intends to require service contractors to provide a minimum level of compensation." Finally, we would stress that the passenger airlines at LAX have over 50 separate nationwide collective bargaining agreements, and the ordinance, as written, will require a reopening of each of these 50-plus agreements to specifically supersede the health requirements at LAX. Healthcare is not an issue with our employees. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. I want to thank everyone for participating in this discussion. I know that the deliberations have been going on for several months, and so we just appreciate the input for both sides on this issue as we've tried to do what's fair and do what's right for the employees. Mr. Busquiano, did you?
Yeah, I have a question for CAO, Mr. Chair, if I can.
Certainly. Can the CAO come back up, please? Or City Attorney?
Just wanted to check on the last time the CAO did a periodic review of the health benefit payment as required by the living wage ordinance, referencing section 10.37.3, subsection B. A periodic review at least once every 3 years, the CAO shall review the health benefit payment by airport employers set forth in section 1037.3A to determine whether the payment accurately reflects the cost of health care and to assess the impacts of the health benefit payment on airport employers and airport employees, and shall transmit a report with its finding to the council. When was the last time that was done?
I don't know if anyone from the CAO's office is here. My name is Danya Minasian. I'm the deputy city attorney assigned to this matter.
My name is Steve Lee with the CLA's office.
What I can say is that we did write that into the amendment so that it can be done on a, I think every 3-year basis, in the latest transmittal that was submitted.
But has
but
not
in
been
terms
done. Do we know if it's been done to date?
That I can't answer. I'm sorry.
Can we get someone on the line? Maybe we can call the CAO's office.
Yeah, see if we can get a response.
And on the, while we're waiting on the CAO, on the healthcare issue, why does the ordinance require a specific dollar amount to be spent by employers on health benefits versus requiring minimum standards of health insurance plans like the Affordable Care Act?
I mean, if you're asking from a legal perspective, that's really a policy call to be made. We haven't looked into the legal aspects of minimum standards versus a flat dollar amount. So we're happy to take that, and if you want the legal aspects of it, report back, if that's what you'd like.
Well, I mean, again, you're looking at a couple options here. And in addition, the question we also raised was if one employer was able to negotiate a rate with Kaiser Blue Cross that's lower than the required health benefit rate, but still provides a minimum level of care required by the Affordable Care Act, why are we penalizing them for negotiating a better rate? Can you respond to that?
Is that a question for city attorney to respond to, or?
Whomever would like to respond with an answer.
Perhaps BC.
We'd like to ask our colleague from BCA to come up to see if she might have some insight on this issue as to why we use that health benefit.
Yeah, if you can negotiate a better rate, why is you're limiting?
Good afternoon, Sophie Zung with the Bureau of Contract Administration. Can you repeat the question for me, please?
So if the employer, say one employer is able to negotiate a better rate with Kaiser or say Blue Cross, that's lower than the required health benefit rate, but also still provides a minimum level of care required by the Affordable Care Act, why are we penalizing them to negotiate a better rate?
I don't believe we were penalizing them. If they found a lower rate, the remaining amount is simply passed on to their wage rate.
Okay. And to the airline representative that was here, do we know if a study, a fiscal impact study, has been completed to the airlines, contractors, or passengers? Oh, yeah. Or even someone from the airport. Is Mark Adams here?
Mark Adams is here.
Maybe more of Mark Adams. Do we know if a study's been conducted on fiscal impacts on what's before us to the airlines, contractors, or passengers?
We have studied the impact on a number of our contractors who, but most of the impact, I think, would be on people who are contractors of the airlines, and we haven't looked at that. We've looked at the bus operators that we contract. We have impact estimates from Smart Cart, who we have a contract with, but we don't have impact numbers from the airline contractors per se.
So, Mr. Chair, is that something that the committee may consider looking at before moving forward?
Well, I'd like for us to move forward on this, but we are going to ask the city attorney to report back on the exempting the airlines, and so perhaps we can have that part of that discussion.
Do you mind if we continue this item until we get those instructions, or you're at
Again, we've been holding this for so long. I'd like to try to move it forward Councilman, but if if you have some real strong desires, you can certainly bring it up on the floor
Okay.
at that time. Okay, any other, thank you, thank you.
CAOs, do we hear back from the CAO on my other question?
Let's go
Maybe
to,
they can be prepared to
yes,
answer
let's
this
ask them to
question.
be able to answer the question when it comes to the floor. That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Again, I want to thank everyone for the robust discussion and interaction over the past several months on this issue. I'm going to move that we approve the revised ordinance and request a report back from the city attorney regarding the legality of exempting the airlines due to their national collective bargaining agreement.
And just for clarification, is it exempting the airlines from the entire living wage ordinance or just the healthcare component?
Healthcare. Okay, without objection, that will be the order. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, next item, please.
Mr. Chair, that appears to be item number 6, unless you wish to take another one.
I thought we were taking 10.
Okay.
10? Yeah. 6 was on consent.
Item number 10, EWDD to report relative to the Los Angeles Regional Initiative for Social Enterprise, LA RISE, expansion pilot program combining rapid rehousing and transitional social enterprise jobs for homeless individuals in the San Fernando Valley and South Los Angeles regions.
Okay, can we get the EWDD to the table, please? Members, do you have any questions or request an overview at this point? No? Okay, we'll take some public comment. I think we've got.
There's nothing on number 10.
Sorry, we have no public comment. So with that, I'll move that we approve the EWDD recommendations, unless there's some objection. No objection. That'll be the order. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Item number 13, Municipal Facilities Committee report relative to the acquisition of the property located at 1300 East First Street, aka Asset ID number 325, Ocean Queen Building, from the Community Redevelopment Agency for Los Angeles, and subsequent sale to Self-Help Graphics and Art, Inc.
Okay. Members, any questions?
Yeah, when do we hold this? Nope.
Ms. Weezer, at this point? Okay. I'm going to move the Municipal Facilities Committee's recommendations with the following amendment to recommendations 3 and 4. Since the purchase and sale agreement is not finalized as of this meeting, EWDD is authorized to execute the PSA subject to approval by the Chief Legislative Analyst. And 2, request the city attorney to prepare and present an ordinance for the sale of the property to the buyer as described in this report and the report from the city attorney without notice of sale or advertisement of bids as justified by the economic benefits that development of this project will generate in the public interest, contingent upon a final signed ordinance being transmitted prior to council consideration of this item. If there are no objections, members, that will be the order. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, let's go to item 18.
Item number 18, CLA report relative to evaluating available economic development incentives / financial assistance to support development in connection with the Pico Figueroa Hotel project and related matters.
Okay, can we ask the CLA is here.
Good afternoon, John Wickham with the Office of the Chief Legislative Analyst. Before you is a set of recommendations and an analysis of the proposed Pico Figueroa Hotel. This is located immediately across the street from the Los Angeles Convention Center. It is a proposal to build 3 hotels and a 2-tower project. The project is comprised of 2 privately owned parcels and 1 city-owned parcel that is between those 2 parcels. So it makes a good deal of sense for all 3 parcels the private developer and the city of Los Angeles to join together to build, to put together a project that really serves the city. For the last 10 years or so, there have been numerous studies indicating that the city needs at least 8,000 hotel rooms within walking distance of the convention center. And the city council has approved several incentive agreements that have helped build hotel rooms. We started out at about 1,800 hotel rooms within walking distance of the convention center. Compare that to San Diego, where they had over 10,000, Anaheim, where they have over 13,000, San Francisco, where they have over 20,000 hotel rooms within walking distance of their convention center. So this is a severe impediment to business coming into City of Los Angeles, this low number of hotel rooms. And so these incentive agreements have been helping build the hotel capacity to attract national and international visitors to our convention center and build that business. That's a strong benefit to the city in terms of generating new jobs, generating good jobs in hotels, generating good jobs in restaurants and in the local economy, as well as generating new revenues for the city's general fund. So this particular project will bring an additional 1,130 rooms. It will be immediately across from the convention center. And the council had instructed us to analyze this proposal in terms of its fiscal impacts, whether there's a gap in the construction financing, and whether it would qualify for an incentive. On the file for you is a report by Kaiser Marston Associates, hired by the CLA's office to do an independent review of the cost of the project and the revenues that would be generated as a result of having the project built. That report indicates that the project is not feasible without an incentive to help support construction of the project. And keeping with city policy, the project would be eligible for $67.4 million in net present value in financial
Over
assistance.
what period of time?
That's over 25 years. And it's a 25-year term for this deal. And and they would earn their incentive and their incentive is earned based on the success of the hotel or the lack of success. So it's based on the amount of TOT, transient occupancy tax revenue, that they earn. So it may be that it takes 25 years to earn the $67.4 million. If they're extremely successful, they might be done in 10 years. So it depends on the success of the hotel. We have every indication that this is going to be a very successful hotel. On the flip side, as a result of building this hotel, the city's general fund would earn net new $90.6 million over that same time frame. So this is this is estimated to be a very strong project for the city in terms of economic development, in terms of support for the convention center, in terms of the creation of new jobs. There will be over 3,000 new. There will be over 3,000 jobs in construction, and there's a jobs number in permanent jobs over 1,320 full-time, part-time jobs as a result of this project. And so our recommendation is to instruct the CLA to negotiate the hotel development incentive agreement, to authorize the sale of the city parcel to the developer, and there was a third one. And let's see, the terms of the agreement, negotiate that, and the CAO to process the actual sale of the property, because when we sell surplus property in the city, there's a whole process for that, and the CAO needs to prepare the appropriate documents, and the city attorney needs to prepare an ordinance to effectuate that. So.
Another exciting hotel project downtown, 2 towers, 3 hotels, 1,100 rooms. I think this is the kind of project we'd like to see happen. Any comments? Mr. Weezar.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to first thank the CLA for their hard work on this. I also want to thank the developer, the Lightstone Group. It's not every day that we get a willing partner in the private sector to undergo the amount of work that's required to get to this point. Not only did they assemble public and private parcels together to make this happen, but also are moving forward and providing downtown and the city of LA with a great need, which is more hotel rooms in the area within walking distance of the convention center. This will not only provide that great need, but also bring about, as was mentioned by the CLA, 3,000 construction jobs and over 1,000 permanent jobs. Currently, the only revenue that the city receives from the property is about $174,000 a year from the rental fees we get from leasing out that parcel. We're going to flip this and get about $90 million over several years. So it's a boom to not only our need to provide more hotel rooms near the convention center, to get additional economic activity in the downtown area and for the city of LA, but also to our coffers, additional funds for our general fund that would allow us to provide our services for the city of LA. So I think this is a win-win all around, and a lot of work went into this. I want to congratulate the CLA and acknowledge and thank the Lightstone Group for your willingness to move forward with the city in doing this project. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your leadership, Mr. Weezer, as well, for this report that I've before me, the hotel market study. 1,000 rooms is great. I just still, if you look at Mr. Weezer's report on page 12, I mean, compared to other major cities, we still got a lot of work to do. So my question to you, John, is, I mean, can we look beyond the LA Convention Center footprint to add more hotel rooms? I mean, I have an amazing waterfront overlooking the Pacific Ocean with great views of Catalina Island. It's, again, it's that last, you guys hear me, colleagues.
I hear you.
Trying to redevelop a waterfront that has amazing views, and I mean, we have Terranea down the street that's just killing it right now. So I'm hopeful that, I know we're focused on the LA Convention Center area, but let's look beyond, because if you look at these numbers, it's still, we got a ways to go with rooms in the city, especially as we prepare for 2028 Olympics.
Yeah, I think you've all heard Ernie Wooden at the tourism board say that I think the number one lodger is the couches and spare bedrooms of LA residents. There are a lot of people who are staying with friends and family because there aren't enough hotel rooms in the region. So that is a significant factor, and I think we should be looking at that and seeing what kinds of needs there are region-wide, and specific areas like San Pedro, for example. It would be helpful. In all of these cases, a developer has stepped forward. This was a unique case because the city parcel was involved, and the city and the developer came together on this one to put together a deal. But in all the other cases, a developer stepped forward and said, hey, I have an idea. And so to the extent that developers are interested in San Pedro, I know that you work very hard in promoting the waterfront. And
yeah, we're making strides.
And so this is this tool, this economic development tool is available for not just hotels. It has been mostly used for hotels, but it also supported the Westfield shopping center out in Woodland Hills, for example, and it's been used to support other shopping center developments in the city as well.
Do you potentially see like a LA Convention Center South? LA Convention Center water?
I have a feeling that
to add more space, more square footage.
I imagine that you've considered that option, and it's it's always a question of the amount of business and the type of business that's being attracted, the kinds of resources that would be needed and effective for that, in the size of the facility, right? So,
yeah, amazing work, great progress. I'm assuming these are all PLA hotel projects. That's going to be part of a agreement.
Absolutely.
Community benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. They all require good jobs.
And what's the timeline completion?
I expect that they will be, they're going through their CEQA process. We'll negotiate the final deal documents. If that's all approved, I believe they're ready to start construction in spring next year, and I believe it's a 2-year construction, 2.5-year construction project. I'm getting a yes.
Okay, any other questions? We've got a few comment cards. Maybe we can shed a little more light on this project. Scott, writers? From the Lightstone Group, James Pugh, Chris Cheek, Shane Phillips, Shamari Davis, Josh Krager, Ron Miller, and James Elmendorf.
Great. Good afternoon,
Thank
Chair
you.
Price and committee members. Scott Reinders, Vice President, West Coast Development for Lightstone Group. Appreciate the opportunity to give you a few brief remarks. Lightstone is very excited about this project. It's our first project in Los Angeles. We've been working quite a long time to put this deal before you today. We appreciate the work that staff has put into this to produce the independent economic report. We're also very excited about the opportunity to support the convention expansion and also the 2028 Olympic Games. So we thank you for your consideration, and our team is here and available to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your investment and support of our city.
Jim Pugh from Shepherd Mullen, land use attorney representing Lightstone. Just a few brief comments. One, the committee members know this has been a long time coming to put the city parcel to good use. This project can finally deliver the type of density that's warranted across from the convention center. And we also want to point out that it's really a model in consistency. It's consistent with the previous RFPs that were put out on this site, even though those didn't pan out as a viable development. It's consistent with what's happening in South Park and the ongoing revitalization of that area. And it's consistent with the city's future vision for that area through the downtown community plan update and really bringing land uses together in that area. And then, of course, the 2028 Olympics. This is at the heart of that downtown area where the Olympics will be held. So we respectfully ask that you approve the motions before you as recommended by staff and thank them for their preparation.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. Shane Phillips with Central City Association. CCA represents more than 400 members, and we're strongly supportive of projects that increase commerce and tourism in downtown. And so we're here today to ask you to approve the Lightstone Hotel incentive and the land sale recommended by the CLA. The Lightstone development bring 3 hotel brands with over 1,100 guest rooms to the corner of Fig and Pico right across the street from the LA Convention Center, as you know. And not only will this project bring us significantly closer to the goal of 8,000 guest rooms within walking distance of the convention center, its focus on 3-star service will also provide a new and more affordable option to visitors and convention goers, which I think is an important point. This project is a really great example of how the city can work together with the private sector to make big and really positive things happen. And so we hope you'll approve this agreement today. Thank you.
Thank you. For the hotels, do you have a brand yet?
We have 2 identified in the staff report with Moxie and AC Hotels by Marriott. The third one will be a Hilton Garden Inn similar stature, which was analyzed in the report. Right. But the third hotel is to be determined.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Chris, Shamari.
Good afternoon. Shamari Davis with IBW, Local 11. We're very excited to support this project. Not only is it going to bring 1,320 permanent jobs, but the great thing is it's going to bring prevailing wage skilled workforce, local hire, and great revitalization to downtown LA, especially across from the convention center. We want to be a part of that because we're part of the community, and we want to help to build LA and get ready for not only the expansion of the convention center, but also for the Olympics. So we wholly support this project and hope that you'll support it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Cheek. I'm here on behalf of Plumbers Local 78 in Los Angeles. In addition to continuing the revitalization of downtown LA, this project also provides the community with another important benefit, well-paying jobs for the working men and women of Los Angeles. The applicant is even providing job training and job creation. Projects that create jobs need to be supported and facilitated. And this project provides the opportunity for our members to use their skills and provide quality work for Los Angeles. We strongly approve you to approve this project. And I personally worked on the Ritz-Carlton next to Staples Center, and I know we were talking about building this project back then. So let's go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for your comments. Ron
Hello.
Miller?
Hello, my name
James.
is Josh Krieger, and I represent the South Park Business Improvement District, a 52 square block area in downtown LA, which includes the Convention Center, Staples Center, and LA Live. We work relentlessly to ensure the southwest corner of downtown LA is clean, safe, and ever improving, which is why we're in favor of smart economic development in the district. This part of the city is developing into a true, dense, mixed-use urban core and has the potential to accommodate growth in a way that helps the region meet its sustainability and mobility goals. It is projects like Pico that continue to help increase the vibrancy of South Park District of downtown LA. The project will help enhance key opportunities in our district, like the Convention Center's expansion, and improve pedestrian experience and helping a stronger sense of arrival around the Metro Pico station, which we've been working very hard on with Metro to improve. Our district is poised to become one of downtown's marquee corridors, fusing business and entertainment with transit and walkability, and it's projects like this that will make it a reality. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Councilman. I'm Ron Miller, Executive Secretary of the LA Orange County Building Trades. We're here to support this project. We've worked with the developer to come up with a project labor agreement that has local hire, preference for veterans, ties into the training program we have over at Trade Tech College and other various community groups that we're working with on pre-apprenticeship. We're helping to build the workforce of tomorrow through your work with these projects. And yeah, Joe, we'd love to do something in San Pedro. We have the system set up for local hire. We're putting local community to work. And these TOT taxes help put it back into the community and promote the community workforce. So we support this wholeheartedly and hope you move it along. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. James Elmendorf, LA Alliance for a New Economy. We're here because we care a great deal about getting more hotel rooms in Los Angeles. We need it badly. We're very happy on this project that after a lot of great work, we do have commitments from Lightstone, who's worked very hard to make sure that both construction workers as well as the hotel and restaurant workers who are going to be on this project are going to have good jobs and are going to go through local hire and training programs. It's an excellent commitment that's a standard for what other hotel developers can and should and often do. And I want to really thank the Councilmember Wisar for his efforts and leadership in making that happen. So thank you very much, and thank you to all the council members.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for your comments.
Sneak in mine. Thank you.
Yes.
Good for Shiro with Creed LA, and everything I wanted to say has already been said. But I think Councilman Huiza, I concur with your conclusion that it's a win-win situation for everybody. Also like to thank all of you for your leadership, and especially in economic development. I know you're really leading in the investing in the future prosperity of the city. I've gone for a couple of meetings where the chairman has talked, and he proudly talks about the development that goes on in his district. And I really like the enthusiasm, and I hope you'll support this project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Thank you for all the comments. And members, do you have any other comments?
I just want to recognize the Executive Director of the LA Convention Tourism Development, Don Liu, who's here. And
Here.
You're good with us? He's nodding yes. Okay.
He's nodding.
The record.
So members, I'm going to move that we approve the CLA recommendations as presented on this project. If there are no objections, that will be the order. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, any other business before us at this time?
No other business before us.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks.